20 years ago, before I had a cell phone, and I want to get this right. I think it was literally 2003, 2002, 2003. It was early 2000s. I had a cell phone. My first real cell phone was a flip phone. It was a Samsung flip phone. It came with the car at the time that I had leased, which was a BMW. It was part of the plan. And so it literally clipped in and was housed in the armrest, which was really cool. I mean, it was state of the art thing. And it said BMW on the phone, and it clipped in there. And when I got out of the car, I pressed a button, I take it out, and then you put the antenna up, and you flip and you talk on it. So, but it was only used truly in the form of what I would say is an emergency, because I didn't talk on it. I had an office. I'd work on my office phone all day long. I'd get in the car, and maybe I'd make a few phone calls just to kind of feel cool, or I don't even really remember using it that much. But what I do remember is this. I would clip it. It would stay in that clip in the armrest, and I would go play golf all day, not bring it with me, not have it to look at, never be interrupted by anybody, including, mom, my friends, nothing. Play golf, get done, get showered, go in the car, and then maybe call and say I'm coming home. I don't even know how that's possible today.
Well, it's not.
Why?
Because it's just the expectation now. It's like saying 100 years ago there was no phone, so there was no expectation of even answering a phone. It's just the times.
Okay, so what's the difference in my example? Why can't you just leave, or why can't I just leave my phone in the car then? Let me just leave it in the car.
Because I'm not competing against other people that are doing that. I'm competing against people that are doing what I'm doing.
Meaning competing to...
If you're a salesman, you need to be on your phone constantly because you're competing against other people that are using that tool.
Okay, so that's the threat, right? That is the threat, and that's a real one for someone who is a commissioned salesperson or self-employed, or is a physician for that matter, right? Everyone feels this connectivity to their world, and to be available and to be the first person to respond. Okay, which is very important, by the way. And the world we're in today is demanding of that, and shame on all of us for buying into it. But we still have a decision we can make. We could still say, no, you know what? I'm at a funeral. I can't talk on the phone for the next hour. I'm in the dentist chair. We can't talk on the phone for the next hour. If you take that same mindset, and say, well, you know what? I'm going to pretend I'm at the dentist. I'm going to leave the phone in the car. I'm going to put the phone down, turn it off, let it sit on the charger for a couple hours, and you know what? That's a larger part, I think, of what needs to happen to a lot of us. So I'm not excluding, I'm including myself in the same suggestion. But I want to, again, go back 20 years ago and explain to you that we were all accessible, not to the second, to the minute, to the beep. We had beepers, right? So I had a beeper, and a beeper would go off, and you look at it and like, okay, that's a call I got to make when I'm done. That's another call I got to make when I'm done, whatever. But because everyone in the world was working the same way, it was okay.
Well, that's the thing.
Right.
And I think what it does now, it creates procrastination, because you can do something instantly. If you knew, hypothetically, I have to send an email and it'll take the other person 2-3 days maybe to answer, whatever it may be, I'm going to send that email right now. Whereas if I know you're going to answer my text or my call, I can wait sort of to last minute to give you that chance. Like it depends on what I'm trying to do, but it does create this mindset of, I got plenty of time, because things happen instantly.
That's really a good point. And that's maybe why, this guy, 57 years old, is organized differently than you are.
Correct. And that's why you freak out when things happen last minute, where in reality, like, it's not the biggest deal in the world, because it can happen last minute now.
But if it is going to happen last minute, I still feel like there's some thought and some preparation that should go to something, so that you have a plan that is plan B, let's say. If something goes wrong in the footprint of what was a way that we always worked, And to your point, you prepare an email, and almost preparing the email, you really might have a day or two before someone responds. And you knew that in that time, you could replay what their response is going to be and have the answer ready without going live.
Right. And now even going live, you have instantaneous opportunity to edit. Hypothetically, if I messed up a caption for something, I could easily just edit the caption and now there you go. My mistake that you were worried about is gone, and it's never to be seen again. So things that
But if someone saw the mistake, it's still, and you know it's a mistake, that still puts a little panic into you, right? I mean, that's
Slightly.
still, right. Okay.
but slightly as in because the slight panic in your mind was a big panic because back in the day you couldn't fix that mistake. You had to make sure that you did take the time to organize and write things out because you get one shot at sending the email. You get one shot at a presentation or a pitch, and sometimes you do, right? Like there's still opportunities where you may only have it once to pitch to somebody, but there are other things that you do have time to redo or go back and learn from and all that stuff. So I think that's why we're wired a little bit differently, where I'm used to just on the fly doing something. If it's not right, I can change it, and you're more, let me prepare for that one. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this clip, be sure to check this one out right here because it's just as good or maybe even better. Cheers.